Hey, how's it going, everyone? I have some really important information to share with you because recently there has been some information shared by the developers about an annual expansion. And this is not just one, it's multiple, like expansions. Now, whether or not this is going to be good news for you or bad news, we'll find out by the end of this video. If you take a look on the screen here, you can see Diablo 4 GM confirms, quote, annual expansions, end quote, for the game. And this is an article over here at Dexerto. If I'm saying that right, I'm probably butchering it. Oh well. Anyways, if we go down towards the middle here, we're going to be able to see the full interview. The interesting thing is that the interviewer had asked a great question about the future of Diablo 4. How long is it going to go? The vision of it and everything like that. Rod Ferguson said, yeah, I mean, obviously that's how long is a piece of a string. He then continues on to say, but you know, it's years and years. That's the thing we're focused on. When you look at the launch of the game and this first season, we see that as building a foundation on which we can build for the future. So, as we look at our quarterly seasons and we look at our annual expansions, those are the things that we're really focused on for our live service. We've got plans, we have storylines that go well into the future. We've got plans, we're always leapfrogging our seasons and leapfrogging our expansions, so it's something that we are going to do for a long time. We're excited. When you look back and realize that there were 11 years between D3 and D4, that feels like we didn't live up to our players, our community, and what they deserve. That's something are rectifying in D4 with our seasons and our expansions. End quote. And I meant we, not our. Maybe I said we are rectifying. Well, there you go. We are going to be receiving a annual expansion, which is going to be pretty cool. Now that does depend on if you're willing to fork out the cash. And that's the biggest thing when it comes down to this whole situation. Cashola. Is the expansions going to be even worth grabbing? And I know that they mentioned at one point in this interview, specifically Rod Ferguson, says that, you know, they're pretty much disappointed in how they acted with D3 and to how D4 was. And so they want to give us more, but the real question behind this is how expensive is the expansion and is the content enough to keep us satisfied for a good portion of the time, right? And that's a big thing because there is no in-game content as of right now, yet that is going to come up here soon where they're going to give us a huge update during Season 2 and all that. And they even talked about that they're going to reveal some more information when they do talk about patch 1.1.4. And I'm very excited for this because this gives us a little bit of a sneak peek to see what they're exactly doing with Season 2. Also, if you're wondering how I know this is coming up, well, Adam Fletcher actually replied to a fellow player, but honestly, I don't know what he said in the post. Not Fletcher, but the other fella. Fletcher actually confirmed that there's going to be patch 1.1.4 coming up, and they're going to give us a bunch of Season 2 news as well. And if you're not aware of this as well, there's going to be something along the lines of like a mechanic behind the 5 in-game bosses. So you sort of have to do some things in order to really get the boss to summon. I have made a video in the past, like yesterday, if you want to check that out. I absolutely recommend it. So now that this information is now public, what do you think about an annual expansion? I'm interested if this is something that you're happy or excited about. It seems like something that a lot of us, if you're a fan of Diablo, you should be excited. The other part of it is, again, like I've mentioned before, is how expensive is this expansion? That's another question I'm curious on. What do you think the actual price is going to be? Because to be honest, if it's $100, which seems absolutely outrageous, but if they were to do something like that for like, you know, maybe you unlock multiple expansions throughout the year, maybe. But again, I would have to give the first expansion a try before I even bother buying a whole bundle, if that is possible. Of course, I'm just speculating here. There's no word that there's going to be any way that they're going to release a bundle where you have multiple expansions, but that would be pretty cool if it was possible. Now, so I do want to bring to your attention to a different topic because there's something going on with PvP, and so you might be wondering, what is it? And it's quite insane. I'm not too sure how this is done, but I do have a good hint. Okay, so I'll just break the ice. Someone figured a way to have infinite health, or pretty much immunity, god mode, whatever word you want to use, invincibility, just so many different words that you could possibly throw in here. There's a player now that has figured a way to completely remain in god mode, and so they can just roam around, take out multiple enemies, and of course they can also take out players. And this is where the huge issue comes along. I'm not going to upload a method on this, even if I do discover it, kind of just seems. So what you can see in this clip is that there's multiple players here. Now what's interesting is that one of them, or if not two of them, are completely immune to any damage, meaning they can roam around and take any sort of damage, the most overpowered damage that you possibly have, maybe with a barbarian, and you're still not going to damage these dudes. It's so weird, it's so strange. Not too sure how it's done exactly, but there has been some sort of hints given out. And, well, how truthfully is it? I honestly couldn't tell you, but let's get into how this is possibly done. This user left a message saying it was some sort of exploit using the cursed Scroll of Chaos, which can be bought with red dust. I hope Blizzard will do something about it with players who are clearly abusing this exploit. Even the monsters cannot attack those players too, as they are forever in immune mode. Again, how truthful is this when it comes down to it? I honestly do not know. I would have to try to mess with it. Although if you're a fellow player out here that does not like glitches like this, which I don't blame you, you can actually report this and maybe Blizzard will possibly fix it. If I had any idea, they might look into it. Who knows? They're probably focusing on the expansion like I just talked about a few moments ago. And another sort of game-breaking glitch that's going around, or it could possibly be a bot that's just kind of roaming about right now, but there has been some reports of a infinite red dust duplication exploit of some sort. I don't know how it works exactly. If it's anything like the previous method in the past where they have patched it, then maybe it's that way, but I honestly couldn't tell you. Anyways, what you see on the screen here is going to be a crap ton of red dust. This is a fellow player over on Reddit that was able to take out a bot or potentially an exploiter, and yeah, that's a lot. Now, this has been going around quite a lot as of recently. I made a video about this actually about 2 days ago. And so it appears that this is still going on currently. And yeah, is it something that needs to be fixed? I don't think it's that game breaking, except for the fact that you have a billion red dust. But I think in the end, it's not as bad as that PvP one as before. But I thought I would share this one with you guys. So if you have came across some sort of player that has dropped this much, I think you're going to be okay when it comes down to any sort of banning, because it's not your fault. Some fella did it, and I wouldn't even bother reporting that to the developers, because really, who knows how they'll take that situation. But that's my personal opinion on it. But this is some wild stuff, and it just seems that things are just escalating when it comes down to these glitches. Whether or not these are glitches or exploits through PC, I couldn't tell you there. This stuff is just really intriguing to me, and I thought I would share it with y'all. With everything out of the way now, I would like to give my 2 cents, my overall thoughts. I think that Diablo 4 is heading in the right direction, considering that they have pretty much just admitted there. They've been admitting a lot of their wrongs and their mistakes, such as like the whole idea between Diablo 3 and Diablo 4 and how things have massively changed and how they could potentially do better. I like the way that Rod Ferguson had said that. And I will play devil's advocate here, because maybe this is just a way of luring us back in so that they could potentially suck the money from us. Maybe. Just maybe. Which is what a lot of people have been feeling as of late, that maybe this next bit of content might just really just be the final nail in the coffin for Blizzard. And really, I just want to be optimistic here and say maybe that's just not going to be the situation. Again, I think everything that they have stated recently when it comes down to being apologetic, apologizing for certain situations, whether that be something like talking to the fellow fan base, or possibly, not nerfing so much stuff before a patch, and everything that they have done prior, it seems like they're heading in the right direction by letting us know more about these patch notes before ahead of time, if I could talk. So overall, I think they're in the right direction, and I'm so happy to see that they're talking about a positive way, a positive path. So we'll see how things go from here. Again, let's talk about everything that has been mentioned in this video. I'm interested in what you think about the expansion, whether or not this is going to be good or bad news, and I would like to know if you guys know anything about the glitches that I talked about. If you do, let me know down below, because I really want to know, especially about the glitches. Thank you so much, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed the video. I appreciate all the love and support, and I will see you all at the end of the video, or on the next video. Where is my brain today? It has been a long, long day. Alright guys, see ya.